Our fans also want to see the big stars. And of course, with Blaise Matuidi, with Gonzalo, these are players that we feel that add to the glitz and the glam of what, the club is. But I think that also going forward, we also want to bring other players in. If we have the opportunity to bring some great names in, you obviously mentioned Leo and Cristiano. They've been at the top of their game for the last 15 years because of hard work, and there's no luck behind it. Of course, there's a certain amount of luck, but the reason why they are the best is because they work hard. And every player that we bring into our team, Sir Alex Ferguson was a master at it. He didn't always bring the best player in the world. He didn't always bring the top player. He brought the right player for the club. And I think that's the one thing that's one of the things that I take into our club is the player has to be right. The player has to be right for the team. He has to still want ambition, still want to win. So whatever player we look at, whatever player we talk to, we have to make sure that is a priority. But of course, we always want to bring great players, but Miami, I've said from day one, is a great pool for any player and fan.
Because of what you said about the work ethic and everything.
Without a doubt, that those are the type of players that we aspire to bring to our club. I think that the fans would really appreciate that. I think, but as owners, we want players here that are driven, that want to win. And that's our priority.
You guys pushed the reset button essentially this off season.
Yes.
Not often you see an expansion team hire or get rid of a coach and a sporting director and hire new ones for year two. Why didn't you guys go with Chris in the first go round? He's obviously a finalist, made it to the last round of interviews. Why did you guys not go with him last time, and what made him the right candidate this time?
Well, listen, the hiring of Chris now, and I don't. Back when we chose Paul to be our sporting director, a lot of that was based on the success that Atlanta United had experienced in the building up of their expansion franchise. But once you're here, right? Once you're the sporting director, once you have a coach, once you start a season, and last year was an extremely difficult season. It was the COVID, the starts and stops of the seasons, the challenges with the roster building. So, I don't think it's fair to judge anyone, be it a coach or a sporting director, just based on a launch year with all the difficulty faced with that. We as ownership made the decision that we were looking forward, to 21 and beyond. And, being with the coach and with the sporting director for the period of time we thought that what we wanted and what we aspired to in terms of having a plan and processes in, that at that time, Chris and Phil would be better fits for what we wanted as ownership. It's no judgment on who was here, but we will not hesitate at any time if we believe that we have to execute a plan to make this team better and the franchise, represent what we want. We will do that. We are not people, and we do not want, and we will not be replacing people every year. That's not the goal and the aspiration. I'd like Phil Neville to have a long run here with multiple successes. I'd like Chris, hopefully, if he can, to finish his career here. But we have to think of the team first. And then every decision that we've made, that's what we've done. We feel we're in a great place now in 21. There's a marked difference, right, in the building, in the training center, in the building with the communication, with the processes that are in writing. Now it's a fact of executing. We've built a very good team around that, which frankly last year didn't exist. So the sporting director coach last year didn't have some of the resources that are here this year because of that. But I think Chris Henderson comes from a winning culture and winning tradition. He is a great person who identifies and scouts talent, which I think is extremely important, a key to his job. He's a person who will, I think, help and assist with the academy system going up, which is a priority of David's and ownership's. I think with Phil, you'll have first a man and people manager, which will be able to lead and execute. I think, what he will be able to put out on the field will prove itself and speak for itself. But we as ownership, as I said, we're looking very, very hard at 21 is a great year. And almost to a certain degree, as if 21 is really our launch year, right? I look at almost this as our expansion launch year, because last year was, you say it now in hindsight, but it was really difficult. Very, very compressed preseason. at a time, our starting lineup for LAFC, I think started practicing together 7 days before when Rodolfo Pizarro arrived. So imagine that, right? You have your starting unit going into your opening game, maybe having 5 practices under their belt. Then you come to the second week in DC, right? A game I think we should have won, right? And then boom, then the season ends. World stops, everything processes. We don't have our roster built, we don't have our spots filled in, on and on. So I mean, last year was just a difficult year. I think we did some great things last year in terms of brand marketing. We launched the enthusiasm. We built this fantastic facility. We competed. But I really look at 2021 as a new page, new chapter, and the start of a new journey.
I want to ask you about the jersey.
Yes. Jersey, yes.
But before I do that, I asked Chris and he didn't have an answer. I got to ask this.
Right.
When the offseason began, you guys talked about bringing Andres Reyes back. That obviously didn't happen. He's now with the New York Devils.
Right.
What happened there that he wasn't able to come back? Chris said that was before he arrived, so he doesn't know the details of that. What happened with Andres?
Well, when we looked at the depth chart of our center backs and what we wanted, we decided to go in a different direction than Andres. There was some conversations with Phil at the time about that, and we went over it. So the decision was made that Andres would probably have an opportunity better in another team that we wouldn't have had here in Miami.
Jorge, el hecho de que
Sí.
en meses recientes Filadelfia haya vendido a Aronson, a Mackenzie, Dallas
Sí.
sigue sacando jóvenes a Europa y cada vez son más los americanos que están allá y que le dejan un ingreso importante a los equipos. ¿Eso también los ha motivado a esta nueva filosofía de tratar de desarrollar la academia?
Bueno, desde el primer día hemos desarrollado esa filosofía porque creo en ese modelo. Cuando David y yo nos involucramos en esto hace 2 años, reconocimos el hecho que hay talento en el sur de la Florida, que Inter Miami puede ser una plataforma para esos jóvenes, no solamente jugar en el primer equipo aquí, pero jugar en ligas en Europa, alrededor del mundo. Aquí hay mucho talento, por ejemplo, los 3 jóvenes que hemos firmado, Ascona, Valencia, Ian Frey, son 3 muchachos que tienen la capacidad, la habilidad y potencial de poder jugar en Europa. David me ha contado que tenemos muchachos en el equipo de 16 que él cree, específicamente 2 muchachos que tienen la habilidad de jugar en Inglaterra. Entonces sí, yo creo que Inter Miami se va a convertir en una plataforma y una academia que puede suplir estos muchachos una oportunidad de poder jugar en Europa, y lo que queremos hacer es seguir creciendo el sistema nuestro de academia, y ojalá que en un futuro, porque acabamos de recién empezar hace un año, tenemos ejemplos como eso de muchachos de tener una oportunidad de jugar en otras ligas y de mejorar sus carreras.
David, I asked you this last year
Yes.
about jersey when you guys unveiled your first jerseys. Why not a pink one? Why haven't we seen a lot of fans are clamoring for a pink game jersey? Why not a pink one yet? And what do you think of the new jersey that launched today?
I think the new jerseys, I think it's beautiful. I think that obviously with the design that we've been working on, and we have multiple conversations about going forward, and we're planning on many different things for the future. But obviously when we first launched the logo, people were like, "Why pink? Why pink?" It's and I tried to explain that every time that sun sets, that's all you see. So I think that going forward, we have obviously a lot of pink with our ideas. So the team wear it every single day. The fans love it, and we're listening to that.
Jorge, on the business side,
Yes.
I don't think you guys have someone. I'm sure you guys have someone making decisions, but not officially in place in a position. Sponsor on the jersey, something fans have also been asking about.
Yes.
Are you guys close to that at all, or can we expect it to be another season where it's just the jersey and the sponsorship's going to be working?
We've had multiple conversations with global brands about being our jersey sponsor. Again, going back to 2020, there's a lot of rumors. We were, at some points very close to having a jersey sponsor. We had multiple opportunities. For this year, 21, we're in conversations with sponsors. I do anticipate having a major jersey sponsor for this upcoming 21 year. So listen, on the commercial and partnership front, again, COVID, very difficult environment, without saying, for obvious reasons. But again, this year, the interest in our team is peak. We have multiple conversations on the commercial side. And again, it's been rumored, but we're very close to bringing in a chief, business officer and revenue officer who Xavi Asensi, who was at Barcelona as their chief commercial officer. So he will be coordinating those efforts for us. So a person who has experience at the biggest, arguably the biggest global club in the world. So
Come on.
yeah, that's why arguably, right? Like one of the top clubs, one of the biggest clubs from a commercial perspective. commercial perspective. But listen, we got a great team. We got great interest with our sponsorships and partners. Our Inter Miami brand, I think, is attractive. We're all looking at partnerships that add value for the partner, add value for us. We want to be very selective and curate our partnerships. A little bit unlike some of the NASCAR models, you just slap things on. We're curating, and we want long-term relationship with our partners. So on the commercial side, I'm actually very satisfied where we're at, and look forward to having a great sponsor on our jersey, and eventually also on an additional one on our sleeve. So.
On the field, what are the goals that you guys are looking for this season? Obviously, we're still dealing with the pandemic and day-to-day challenges that are, we can't predict. But
we want to be, we want to compete every game. As I said earlier, we want to be, feared and respected, both as a team with a great product on the field and respected in the way that we go about it and we do it. We aspire to, be a top 3 team in the Eastern Conference. We want to host a home playoff game. We want to make a run for an MLS Cup. With the type of things we're doing on the roster, I think those are very achievable and attainable, goals for this year. But that's what we aspire to in 21. And moving forward, listen, we want to aspire for a Supporters Shield and MLS Cup every year. That's the goal of Inter Miami.
Jorge, cortica.
Sí.
Vamos a ver público esta temporada en el estadio, y si vamos a ver, ¿cuánto crees que sea el aforo?
Bueno, creemos que la apertura va a ser el 17 de abril. No está confirmado, pero va a ser el 17 de abril. Vamos a tener fanáticos en el estadio. Estamos ahora con los protocolos y trabajando con los médicos y con la liga a ver cuántos fanáticos podemos tener. Yo anticipo que tendremos, y una vez más, un estimado entre unos 3.500 y 6.000 personas. Estamos en eso, y ojalá que ya para el verano o principios del otoño, estoy aspirando al día que vamos a tener unos 20.000 fanáticos aquí con nosotros. Gracias. Gracias.
Did you want to?
Yes, I wanted to ask David about the academy. Of course, I wanted to ask about the academy, but I wanted to ask about USL. I asked Phil the same question. Is it your goal that maybe players from the USL can get up to the first team and maybe get that opportunity that they didn't get last year?
Without a doubt. I've said, and I don't know whether I say it too much, but the academy is one of the most important parts of our club. It's not just about the USL. If we see a player that is in the 16s, the 17s, if they're good enough and they show the right attitude, then they will have an opportunity. But we need to protect our young kids. So I've seen it in the past where when I was at Manchester United, the manager would bring a young player in, and then you'd not go into the first team again for a few months. It's about protecting the players, so we have to give our young kids the opportunity, and if they perform well, then it doesn't matter what age they are, then they have an opportunity. So I think that's where we want to get to, because I don't think, and I've said it many times, there's never going to be a prouder moment for us as owners and for our fans to see a homegrown kid come through our academy and be playing out there on the field in the MLS. It's quite emotional to think about that, because I've seen it in Europe and I've seen it in certain places around the world when that happens, and I know how much it means to the fans, and I know how much it means to the families and the players. So that's ideally what we want.
I saw you wished Ole Gunnar Solskjaer happy birthday the other day.
Yeah.
I mean, another former player, mate of yours. How do you think anything's gone?
Yeah, I think I think Ollie's done really well. I think that obviously he's loved by the fans. He's loved by the players. He's respected because of what he's done in his career. And I think that obviously, even in difficult times, I think he's performed at the highest level and give Manchester United fans hope, and obviously we've enjoyed watching the team, and I wished him happy birthday yesterday, so I hope he had a lovely day, but and I'm sure he did. But
He doesn't call you boss as well, does he?
No, he doesn't call me boss, but I might ask him to.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
See you later.
Michael, before you leave, we've got some
Appreciate you guys
Thank
doing
you.
this.
Thank you. Got it, Frank.
First club to do it.